I just pulled the back off my GE Profile bottom freezer trying to find out why it's flooding and freezing in the bottom. And Google and YouTube seems to tell you that there's a drain tube in the back, which is apparently this thing. And you see down here, it's pretty clear that's a plastic pan where the water's supposed to go and evaporate. This thing pulls out very easily. You pull the cap off and it looks kind of bad, but inside of this, look, it's just totally plugged up. Like, it'll clean up very easily. After I pulled this cap off, this tube was, an inch or two full of stuff, and with some pliers I just pulled out all these things. It's like insulation, dust maybe, I don't know. So apparently it drains down from the inside of the defrost cycle. Maybe dust gets in there and condenses and comes in here and collects in the bottom. Of course, this thing has this tiny little opening, so naturally it doesn't get through that, and it backs up in here, and it would die slowly over time. This thing's about 10 years old and finally stopped working. The problem remaining is there's no water coming yet. That's because this tube is frozen up there, so now you got to worry about thawing that out so the flow will resume. The first step in getting to the defrost heater drain tube is to pull out all the baskets. You got to pull out all of this stuff to the back panel. Remove the door front. Instructions say to remove just the middle screw on the railing. And then you can slide the door. Now with the front door off, the next step is to pull this center panel off. Just push down on this. It snaps off like that. And this all comes apart. And these bars come out. And there's a little release there. Now this can be removed. I already took 3 screws out, so that's ready. We're getting access to this back panel. That's what's got to come out to get to the heater and plugged. To get the ice tray out, all I have to do is loosen the 2 brass screws. Once they're loosened, it just comes out like that. Then disconnect this. With the ice maker out, and this panel loose. And it's attached. They have to put it back in there. I was able to tug on this corner up here and break it loose. Got it coming loose. Coming off the bottom. There's little tabs on the bottom. Hopefully I can work this out of there. Sure enough, it kind of broke its seam all the way across the top. By just tugging carefully, it is plastic, be careful. And out it comes, that's it. And ta-freaking-da, there's the situation. It's all full of ice down here. Apparently, if I melt all that, somewhere down underneath there's a drain tube. I gotta melt the ice to get the water flowing again. But I definitely see the problem. This is just one big ice cube. Okay, well, hot water, here I come. And here's the problem. Apparently this black rod is a heater, creates heat and thaws all the ice, melts all the ice off of these panels here. And if the water can't drain out in this metal pan, it obviously freezes. And that's where we're at right now. So there's somewhere in here, there's a drain tube that ends up getting plugged and backs up into this. All I need to do is melt this, maybe melt the water in the tube to get water flowing, and then put it all back together. Hot water, boiling water is one idea, but a hairdryer is another idea, or even put a 100-watt bulb in here and leave it overnight. That's another idea. Okay, I've been pouring half cups of boiling water in here, loosening this up, and you can see there's a tray in there, and there's the low spot, and that's solid ice at the bottom of that. And it fills the bottom. I squeegee it off into a cookie sheet, and this is the chunk of ice that came out of the bottom. See, it's kind of, it's about an inch thick. So this whole, that's the problem. Here we are in the back again, checking to see if it's open. And son of a gun, I got water dripping down here. There it is, water coming out of the drain, collecting in the evaporator pan. Perfect. I've been using a hairdryer up there for 4 or 5 minutes, not that long, but it's a real hot hairdryer pointed right at the spout. And finally, I'm starting to melt the ice jam. I think I'm about home. After pouring hot water in there to loosen up the chunk of ice in the bottom, getting that out of there, I just started blowing a hairdryer on it, and I could use it to like squeegee the water out, and you just come down here and get it out on a cookie tray and carry it away. Finally, I broke through. So here's the hairdryer. Not much to it. I think I'm done. Just got to put it back. That can be the hardest part, as you know. Bye.